Thank you for watching the Shakaama Live Show. It's getting down to that time that we're closing out this year, and I want to shatter some perceptions by both whites and blacks about the black community. I can tell by that time that I need to continuously do this every quarter, every end of a quarter. I need to do this exact video over and over until people get it. The black community is suffering from shining lights on cockroaches. What do I mean by that? I mean that the mainstream media, and I know you said this is by design. Yes, I get that. I understand that. But black people and white people alike don't do anything about it, or don't voice their opinion, or don't say anything to contradict it. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that if you have a white guy on a TV show acting a straight fool, falling off of cliffs, falling over, slapping people, being stupid, speaking like he's from some Tom Sawyer novel, or I'm sorry, these names are all escaping me right now. Nobody in their right mind says that's the white population. Nobody in their right mind says that. Why? Because in the same exact venue, the very next commercial is going to have some well-spoken, dressed up, in a suit, white man talking about, do you need insurance? Come bank with us. Invest in our firm. Let us take care of your money. Now, what's significant about that? Or what's the difference? The difference is you have black criminals on TV, black hoochies on TV, and people say that is the black population. Why? Because the very next commercial has a black hoochie, a black criminal on a commercial talking about, oh man, I really want to buy these Beats headphones. Dr. Dre Beat headphones. You don't have Dr. Dre come out in a suit saying, buy my headphones. We have revolutionized the entire headphones and audio industry. You don't have that. Dr. Dre sits and collects his money, and meanwhile you have criminal looking, thug looking, hoochie skanks on the commercial talking about, ooh, I love me some Dr. Dre headphones. Ooh, shucking and jiving. I'm a Sambo. You don't have any, and the main person that really would come out and really revolutionize the image of black people you all are destroying right now. That is Dr. Bill Cosby. People wanted me to talk about that. I'll talk about that right now. Dr. Bill Cosby has told black people, like me, get up off of your butt and do something about it. Get up off your butt and do something about it. Let's go over the stats. This is going to tie in well with exactly what Dr. Cosby is saying. Here's my statement. 90% of the black population, 90%. This is an unequivocal number, right? This is not a 42% to 46%. 90% of the black population is, number one, middle class to upper class. Number two, educated with at least a full high school diploma all the way up to a doctorate or several doctorates. Number three, law abiding. I know this is blowing people's mind. Number four, married to each other. 95% black men to black women, 97% black women to black men. Of course, that means that the other digits, the 3% and the 5%, means that they're married to other, that is outside of the race. Black people marry black people almost 100%. When you see a black man with a white woman or some other woman, when you see a black woman with some other man, you're looking at a unicorn and you just don't know it. And number five, never ever heard from. That means that this entire category is never heard from. I want you to think to middle America, not quite the North, not quite the South, and all of those black people that live in those areas that you never hear from. They have a yuppie lifestyle, 2 kids, 2 cars, house with a fence around it, married for 30, 40 years, don't get divorced. And black people have the lowest divorce rate out of all groups. That includes Asians, I believe. I believe they're neck and neck with Asians. But a very, very low divorce rate. Very low. You never hear about any of those people. Why? Because they're boring. They're not entertaining. You have these fat Rick Ross, fake Rick Ross talking about, I took her home and she didn't even know it. Meaning he raped the girl, right? And then you have women saying, black women saying, we need real men to stand up against that. You don't need first of all, you need to get rid of the term real men. That is a misnomer all by itself, real men. Are you talking about real men versus aliens? What are you talking about? Are you talking about something that you have defined in your own brain, real men? Or in the vernacular of the rappers, a real nigga? Are we talking about aliens versus real humans? Get the term out of your head. There is no such thing as a real man. A real man is a human that was born with a penis. That's a real man eventually, right? That's a real man. Anything else is something defined by somebody to try and control you. A real man would pay for his children. What? What does that mean? What do you mean? So you want his money? So you're trying to shame a man to get money out of him because somebody else has told you that your bad life decisions means that somebody else should pay for it. You all would want me as a judge. I would throw the book at you. You don't accidentally get pregnant. It does not happen. And unless we're talking about rape, it really doesn't happen by accident at all, ever. Never does it happen by accident. Well, you see, the condom broke. No, the life decision you made was to lay down with a man. A man produces sperm in the act of sexual intercourse to get humans pregnant, right? Female humans pregnant. If you don't want a child, you have thousands of options of how to prevent getting pregnant. I'm not even talking about abortion or anything like that. I'm talking about before we even get to the whole pregnant part, you have thousands of options, right? Like that stupid woman who wanted people to pay. First of all, she was upper middle class to begin with. She made $90,000 a year or something like that. But she wanted other people to pay for her contraception. I have a stupid look on my face right now. You can't see me. Women have thousands of options. They have come up with the NWO, the New World Order, the Illuminati has given you thousands of options of ways for you not to get pregnant. If a woman gets pregnant and she cannot afford the baby, that is her life decision. That is hers and hers alone. And people say, no, it takes 2 to have sex. No, it doesn't. It takes 2 to have sex, but it takes 1 person to get pregnant. It really does. Men have very few options. Outside of a condom, men have very few options. And I know people aren't going to suggest that men get their balls snipped, because at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, when we actually reach the bottom line of the accounting ledger, it's the woman who makes the decision to get pregnant. I know people don't want you to have responsibility, and you don't want to have this responsibility, but take responsibility. You have thousands they have options now where you can just say, I don't have to get pregnant for half of a year. They have designed it to such a degree to give you options of doing you can go out and be a whore all you want to for a whole 6 months and you won't get pregnant. Those are the options available to a woman. To a man, not so much. If the condom breaks, that happens. That actually does happen. It really does. A condom is not even 100%. So at the end of the day, you're taking a risk. And if you actually get pregnant, that is on you as a woman. This is what I would train my daughters. If I say, if you're going to do this, first of all, I wouldn't have her doing all this shit. She would be married at a very young age to a very nice black man, a black gentleman from a very nice black family with money. So this conversation wouldn't be necessary. But if I had a wild and out crazy daughter, this is exactly what I said. The ultimate responsibility of you getting pregnant is a life decision by you. Why? Because these options are available to you and not to a man. You getting pregnant is your business. It's not the man's business. Don't get pregnant and then turn around and say, I'm going to have my daddy, the state, sue you for your money. I met you in a club and we had casual sex once. Well, you had sex with, no, you getting pregnant is on you. You all would want me as a judge. This entire thing would be over. Why? Because after about 20 women not getting any money, that behavior would stop, wouldn't it? Let's get 10,000 judges like me on the bench who say, no, it is a woman's responsibility. You got pregnant. We have all of these options. We're talking about options as cheap as $20 of you not getting pregnant. We have options, physical barriers. Right? Inside of the vagina. We have that. We have pills. We have shots. We have all sorts of stuff. If you want to be a whore, you can be a whore and not get pregnant and hopefully not have children, because that behavior is not something that we want to encourage in humanity. We want to encourage decent people. It's indecent to have casual sex with people who you are not married to. It's because these same indecent people don't avail themselves of the options to not create another human exactly like them. What do you think is going to happen? You're going to teach your daughter to be as indecent as you. You know, from listening to my channel, you know I'm all about decency. Somebody needs to be decent, polite, mannerly. Women are the responsible party for getting pregnant, not men. You don't pick up a snake and say, why did you bite me? I'm a snake. This is what we do. We bite people. Sometimes we strangle people. But those are the only two options. And I'm hungry and you look like food. Those are the only two options. You don't pick up a lion and say, why did you bite me? I'm a lion. I have big, huge teeth. You saw the teeth. You knew the teeth were there. You know that that's what I do. I'm the king of the jungle, which means I can take down anything in the jungle. Anything, every other animal I can take down, because we run in packs, first of all, right? And we're the strongest. So you don't go home with a Negro to have sex and say, why did you get me pregnant? What do you mean, why did I get you pregnant? I was inserting my penis in your vagina. Sperm comes out. That's the whole climax of the act. That's what's going to happen. Knowing that, you should have taken responsibility. If you want to be a whore, you should take responsibility and avail yourself of the options out there to not get pregnant. Now, if 10,000 judges on the hour said, no, you're not getting money from him. It's your responsibility. Women would stop that crap tomorrow. Would they not? That friggin' vagina would dry up overnight. If women said no, absolutely no casual sex whatsoever, you have to marry me. I need a ring on my finger, a signature on this stupid document that's where the state says we're married, which is stupid anyway. And the whole proceeding in the church, the whole 9 yards, just to have sex with me. Don't you think that's how that behavior is encouraged? By saying, oh yeah, if you get pregnant, the man has to pay you money. He has to take on responsibility for an act that wasn't all that important. Because at the end of the day, the act isn't important anymore, right? Having sex is no longer important. It's not a life-changing event. I want you to think back decades ago where having sex was a life-changing event because you were purposely trying to have a child with your spouse. You two came together, you got married on your wedding night. Why is the wedding night all about having sex? It's so that the couple can have a child. In China, they made sure that the bride was in full bloom so that on the wedding night, she would get pregnant. And that's the whole point of marriage, actually, is to produce the child. I know a lot of people say, oh, it's because you're in love. No, that's some stupid stuff they invented about 40 years ago, something like that. Hollywood has made you thought that marriage is something about love. It never has been. In the thousands and thousands of years in our history, it's always been about producing a child, and the child represents a whole slew of things. The child represents two families being united in one child, their bloods all mixing into one child, so that the families don't war against each other. Inheritance flows to that child from both families. The wealth is amassed in that child. All of these things come together by having a child. Now you have casual sex, and the child isn't even important. It's just a paycheck. 10,000 judges would completely curtail that, would stop that in a heartbeat. And I know you guys who are whores yourself probably hate that I would even say such a thing. Oh, why would you say such a thing? Because it's the truth. If you don't want to go out around paying alimony and child support to 4 or 5 women or 12 women or whatever you have, you might want to think about maybe marrying a decent woman and stop this. And if you marry a decent woman, you can have sex every night, 2 and 3 times a day, depending on her appetite and depending on your appetite, obviously. But yeah, marriage has a lot of benefits. Everybody tells you about the downfalls of marriage, but marriage has a lot of benefits. Anyway, let's get back to the black population. Shining a spotlight on these criminals, shining the spotlight on these whores, shining a spotlight on the black, quote unquote, black feminists, which is a misnomer. Why are there black feminists? The black man has never done anything to the black woman. And these black feminists, just like I said, that when you see a interracial black couple, it's a unicorn, because a majority of black people are actually married, middle class, and happy and content, and you never hear from them. Never hear from them. Anyway, thank you for watching the Shakaama Live Show.